Hey, how are you?
Oh, wonderful, Carla. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Jacob. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Straight Talk. Um, your host, Carla Olivares, broker associate with eXp Realty, and having an interview with my guest today, Jacob Jabboury. Am I saying your name right? I hope.
That's correct.
And we're going to talk a little bit about mortgages. And he's a very experienced mortgage broker, VP with 16 years of experience. And we're going to learn a little bit more about him, about his business, and how he can help. So take it away, Jacob. Tell us a little bit about where are you from and how you got started in the business, and we'll just have a little talk here. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
absolutely. First, let me just say thank you so much for having me on your show and with having this interview. Is I'm honored to be here. Um, quick information about myself. I'm originally from Beirut, Lebanon. I was born and raised there before moving to the United States when I was 16 years old. I've been in the business for a little over 16 years now. I started the business by a coincidence, actually. A former boss of mine and director of sales of a company I used to work for got into real estate and mentioned to me about finance, which is
Mhm.
something I used to do with the business that we used to run with sales that we do, along with the telecommunication sales. I was introduced to a mortgage broker at that time who took me under their wing, taught me the business, and the rest was history.
Wow, that's great. And why this profession? Why did you get into the mortgage business? Why
That's a
did you
great
choose that?
question. I love the fact that I'm really good with numbers. That's one of the good
Mm,
things about me.
hmm
I like numbers. I like to be able to crunch numbers, structure. But most importantly, really what I love about this business is helping people.
hmm
I'm a great communicator. I love being around people. I love helping, educating, spread knowledge about something I truly believe in and being passionate about. And I found that I am actually passionate about structuring a loan, working different options, calculating numbers, and still till today, as passionate as I was when I first found out I love it. So
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say that usually a lot of creativity too when it comes to structuring a loan and finding different ways of making it work for that uh, particular client, right?
absolutely, there's no client similar to another. Absolutely, never is.
Although
They
it
can come
seems like
close.
it is.
It just seems like it is. They can come close. You can have your normal vanilla buyers, and but everyone has slightly different situation than another, and always have options to share it with. So, communicating that, explaining that, structuring that, and giving them the option of choosing and making sure it works at the end of the day is part of the equation.
Mm-hmm. All right. And what would you say that your customers say they love the most about you and your business and your service?
I would say is my passion about the business, my well communication skills, the follow-ups that I do, and obviously explaining them all their options up front, and delivering on my word is very important to me as well. So what I
That's
say
very
I
important.
do, and yep, and if something I can do, either I'll figure out how to get it done, or I'll be straightforward about it.
Mhm. Great. And well, have you had any or any stories? I'm sure you have a lot of them, but any good any stories where you have gotten a request that was kind of like a little, you know,
Unusual?
different or unusual. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had honestly quite a few. Probably some that just just to mention one of them. I've had a buyer practically ask me to go with them to the furniture store and help them pick out a dining room set.
Well, they couldn't buy one while they were in the whole process, right? So as soon as they
Mhm.
could,
Absolutely.
they hit the store.
I didn't say no, but I left it to feel free to call me and FaceTime me when you get to the furniture store, and I'm more than happy to give you my honest opinion.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well,
Yeah,
now with FaceTime and you can do that. You probably could have gone with
yeah.
them.
You can be
Yeah.
there at the same time almost. So it's as good
Yeah.
as being there. So more than
Yeah.
happy to help and shed some light and share my opinion at any time. So if I have the option to do so. So
That's great. Well, and what can you tell us right now about what's happening with the market and what's your take on the mortgages and with all these changes and the real estate
sure.
market?
We've as a lot of people have noticed that the market has drastically shifted between the 2020 and 2021 years that we had, which is very unusual time in our probably whole lifetime are we ever going to experience. We had a pandemic that never seen before, rates lowest as possible that ever been. But obviously, whatever goes down comes back up. And, we were preaching um, to our clients since mid last year that rates are going to be going up eventually at some point. And
Mm-hmm.
they actually took longer to go up than they should have. I believe the rates should have started going up back in July of 2021. But obviously the Fed started to raise rates in January of this year, and they were behind the eight ball on doing so. So the drastic change and the quick change kind of shocked the market because obviously they need to hurry up and raise them faster because they didn't raise them soon enough. Um, you know, Rates are something that, are a moving target at all times. As my 16 year of experience in this business, I have seen rates go up within 2 years and come back down within the next 2 years. And it's been a cycle of life, really. And it's stability for the market and longevity of the
Mm-hmm.
market has to do so. Um,
And we,
as they
and we tell
say,
buyers not to get married with the rate, right? Get married
yeah,
with the house.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
as they say, you divorce the rent, you marry the house, and you date the rate. And with 6.5 to 7.5 average rates right now is not the highest we've ever seen. It is definitely higher, much higher than we've seen in the last previous 2 years. But if you go back historically in the last 10 years, rates in general were always between 4.5 and 5.5. So being about a 2% increase from the normal as unemployment is at its lowest, as income at its highest, economy is really booming at its probably the best ever been. It is not something that is going to be permanent, but it's also something that you can work around. Where we are right now, advising people to buy down their rate. We have a special program is just 2-1 buy down, where you can buy down your rate for the first 2 years at a 1% lower the second year
Right.
and a 2% lower for the first year. Um, Being a tool just to have you lower rate for the first couple of years until you can
Could
refinance.
Sure. Could you repeat that buy down? I
Sure.
think
So
it's a
it's
very good program. And actually, I was going to ask you about any programs that you have right now for buyers. Mm, Yeah.
Yeah. So the 2-1 buy down is practically buying down your rate by 2% for the first year. And so normal rates right now, for example, will be 6.5% rate.
Hmm.
That's a 30-year fixed mortgage. So you'll be basically having a rate at 4.5% for the first year,
Hmm.
5.5% for the second year, and then we'll go to the 6.5% for the remaining 28 years.
And at that point, they
Um,
could even refinance if the rates are lower.
absolutely.
Mm.
And that's really the goal, is to take on a rate at a lower what the market is, with the hopes of the rates go down in the next 2 years, and you don't have to basically be at 6.5 for the remaining 28. But if you do have to, at least you took advantage of the low rate for the first 2 years instead of paying 6.5 for the whole 30. The
Mhm.
goal is to have a lower monthly payment, and on an average $450,000 loan, you're looking at about $650 lower on the first year and $350 lower on the second year
That's excellent. Yeah.
per month.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right. Well, I really appreciate your time here on this segment. And I guess why don't you tell us where a buyer, seller can reach you, or somebody that is thinking in purchasing a home? Uh,
Absolutely. Let me just give my information real quick. My name is Jacob Jabboury, and my website is jabbourygroup.com. That's spelled JABBOURY.com, jabbourygroup.com. Or you can reach me on my cell phone at 703-638-8188.
and you work nationally? Is this just the Florida market, or you do different markets as well?
We are in Florida, Pennsylvania, Maryland, DC, and Virginia currently.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much again, Jacob. It was great to have you here. Again, your host, Carla Olivares, broker associate with EXP Realty for all your real estate needs. And I'm going to put Jacob's information below this video so you can reach out to him and maybe we can work a deal together. Until next time, thank you again.
Thank you.